Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Coming to America. Coming to America is a 2021 romantic comedy that is a follow up to the 1988 classic Coming to America. The story picks up in real time all of these years later with Prince Akeem learning that he has a bastard son he never knew about. And as his father ages quickly, he goes to find his unknown son to give a male heir to the throne. With most of the original cast back, I was certainly intrigued with this very long awaited sequel as we are here 33 whole years after the original came out. However, the track record for long awaited sequels that take like a decade plus to come out is quite shoddy at best. And when I saw the new rating and saw that initial trailer, I had pause to be concerned, honestly. And honestly, I think Coming to America was meh. Not terrible, not the worst of these long awaited sequels, but certainly not at the level I was hoping for. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, I want to start off with Eddie Murphy because I think he's great in this role. He's wonderful in this film at large. And I'm so glad to see him follow up something like Dolomite Is My Name with another livened performance. It's also nice to see Arsenio Hall back. He's perfectly fine. He certainly captures the essence of his character once again. Of course, we have Sherry Headley, we have James Earl Jones. Most of our remaining core cast are all back for this film, and it's just nice to see them get to reprise these iconic roles. Plus, we even get John Amos and Louis Anderson back in the fold, and at times it definitely feels like a nice old reunion. The actors perfectly pick up with these characters right where we left them and make them feel like those characters you fell in love with all of those years ago. And then when we blend them into our new characters, I think it mostly works okay. Kiki Lane is wonderful in this film. I love her anyway, and I loved her character. Honestly, just wish we had gotten a little bit more depth from the character, but she does great. Jermaine Fowler is also lovely, but certainly the standout of the entire acting cast for me, honestly, is Wesley Snipes. I thought he was hilarious. I thought he was so much fun in this delicious, over the top role, and he ate it up. Wesley Snipes definitely stole the show for me. If I'm being honest, the biggest positive of this entire film is the costuming and the hair and makeup, which blew my mind. They are so good. If this doesn't get nominations for Best Costume and Hair and Makeup Design, I will be flabbergasted because they were both amazing. These gowns, these headpieces, these amazingly intricate hairstyles, all of it just looked so gorgeous. And honestly, I think the production design is also really nice. Getting to explore Zamunda and spend more time there was also really fun and nice and allowed for the costumes and the set design to be a lot more extravagant, over the top, and I loved the setting there. And of course, there are some really funny moments. I think that this musical bit at a party we have near the very beginning of this film was hilarious. We have some musical guests that come on and kind of perform parody versions of their own songs, and it's amazing. And of course, I certainly chuckled. Particularly, Wesley Snipes has some amazing lines in here, but there are some chuckles and giggles to be had throughout. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to Coming to America? Well, my biggest problem is that it is highly reductive when we look at the plot of this film compared to the first film. It's a whole lot of rinse, recycle, repeat here. And that is a problem with sequels in general, but particularly when you wait 33 years, adding on one or two elements to shake it up just a tad, but to give us pretty much the exact same story is quite disappointing. Then the logic and logistics of it all just never quite settled in for me, and I know that's ridiculous to talk about with a Coming to America sequel film. However, we have this subplot with the bastard son, but that's not explored really or questioned, honestly. Then we get the politics of Zamunda, and it just is so outdated and so antiquated that it's hard to really believe, particularly with the queen and who she is and who she was before she got with Akeem. These super highly outdated laws, particularly when it comes to and pertains to women, were jarring and honestly felt like they knew the plot was exactly the same as the original and they just needed to maybe give it a little bit more substance, but it just doesn't work. The technical aspects also weren't wonderful. There is at least one scene where it is blatant, where there is a voiceover and the lips just do not match up properly with the voiceover work that was imposed over our characters. Oof. Not to mention the CGI that is used here is horrible. Particularly, there's this lion in here that looks absolutely dreadful. And while the film is obviously very self-aware, it really isn't able to capture that same heart as the first one was. And honestly, probably because it is so reductive, this film just wasn't able to capture that same heart and that same essence where we cared about the main character and we really enjoyed seeing him come into his own. This time around, it just lacked a lot of that soul and fell into a lot of tropes of the genre, once again, leaving it feeling overly reductive. Also, it is very self-aware, much like the first one. However, it's so hard to recapture that kind of magic in a bottle once again. And I don't think they quite did. It's not a disaster or a train wreck by any means, but it feels choppy, it feels too awkward, and the flow never gets into a great groove. Overall, Coming to America is definitely not the worst of these long-awaited sequels I've ever seen, but it's certainly far from the best of comedy sequels we've gotten. It's perfectly fine as just a casual throwaway watch, but unfortunately, it has no chance of standing the test of time as its predecessor did, and honestly, I struggle to think of myself remembering that this film came out by the end of 2021. If you have a Prime membership already and you loved the first Coming to America, I definitely think the sequel is worth checking out. You're not paying anything extra for it, and I don't think it's a waste of your time. However, if you don't have that Prime membership or you're skeptical from seeing the trailers, I honestly think you can pass on this one and just go ahead and rewatch that original classic. So that is my review of Coming to America. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Coming to America? Have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and make sure to let me know, what do you think? Do you love the original? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!